Okay.
All right.
Do you feel that body modification can have an effect on your career path? Why or why not?
Well, I know for a fact that it definitely can because I'm 38 years old and I've had stretched years since I was 18, and it can. It depends on who you go to work for, or it depends on what kind of job. If your job requires you to look a certain way as sales and stuff, then yeah. I used to work offshore. I had a hand working job. Nobody cared what you look like. You did your job. So it can and it can't. It just depends.
If you have any body modifications, why? Are they meanings behind them or like what you've done?
Yeah. Mine, when I did mine in about 95 is when I started, and it was an outlet to try to experience primitive culture, because culture today still is very just kind of boring and mundane, and it's concocted. So it was kind of an outlet to help me experience anything that's real.
Okay. Do you feel that there is a stigma that comes along with tattoos and piercings? If so, why?
It comes along with that. Yeah, of course, because we live in an intolerant society, and if something's not what the people on top do, then it's taboo, or it's wrong if I say it's wrong. So that's just how it is.
Do you feel that there is a line that should not be crossed as to how far one may go with body modifications?
A line that should not be crossed? People have done like the craziest of crazy. I think anytime I don't want to say hurt yourself, because all that's really subjective, you know. Anytime you do damage to your body that doesn't involve any sort of artwork, or doesn't involve doing it to put yourself in a state of a temporary state of mind to an experience, then it's just masochism. Then now you're just hurting yourself because you want to feel pain. That's kind of crossing the line.
What's your perception on body modification?
I perceive it as just something that somebody does to themselves to just decorate their body. It is different, but it's the same as growing a mustache, or some people wear glasses when they don't need glasses. Some people have outlandish hairstyles. Some people, I don't need to keep naming all the things that people do. This is just something permanent that you do to your body, so obviously it would mean a little bit more because there's a little bit more permanence into it.
Do you feel that some people get body modifications because they're psychologically disturbed?
I'm sure. I don't personally know anybody, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that does it for that reason.
Do you feel like some people get them to fit into a scene or a crowd?
Now it's become kind of mainstream. I wouldn't be having an interview with a 17-year-old in high school about this when I started, because nobody even knew about it. You wouldn't even have an interview in college about this because it was just so not even known about. So the fact that we're even doing this, it's become pretty mainstream. So of course, anything that comes to the mainstream, you're always going to have people wanting to fit in and wanting to find their niche.
Do you think some people get these modifications in result of how they were raised?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some. A couple guys that grew up around tattoos and stuff. That their dads were tattoo artists, you know, from back in the day or whatever. Just, I mean, it's been going on since probably the late 1800s is when they actually made tattoo guns and did, you know. And, you know, if you come from a culture from the South Pacific, you know, if you're Hawaiian or from Tahiti or something like that, then I'm sure that's really solid in your culture. So, yeah.
What are some socially and unsocially accepted? No, wait, crap, messed that up. What are some socially accepted and socially unaccepted like body modifications in your opinion?
I think the only thing socially unaccepted, in my opinion, is would be on the tattoo side of things, because anything other than tattoo is just a it is what it is. It's a body modification. It doesn't say anything. Whenever you tattoo something other than tribal tattoos and you're putting a picture of something or words or anything like this, I think it's socially unacceptable. You can do whatever you want underneath your shirt, but I think it's socially unacceptable to walk around with, you know, offensive things. You know, if you're a white supremacist or a Black Panther on either side, and you have tattoos displaying like just outright, you know, cruel and disrespectful things, then I think that's crossing the line, because you're out in public and you're displaying that. The same thing goes for religious things. You know, there's people who put, you know, very satanic stuff on their body. Yeah, you're right. You have the right to that. But they go out into public and flaunt it in front of other people. It's just, it's not necessary, you know. All you're doing is causing undue strife amongst people.